Welcome back to the Paris newsroom. It's France 24 and it's live from Paris, and it's time for Media Watch. Thank goodness. James Pigeon is here. Hello, James.
Good evening, Laura.
Now let's start with a story that you've probably spoken about the most this year.
Oh my God.
Roundabout. Lady Valerie Trierweiler, First Lady of France, reluctantly. She tweeted a while ago, didn't she? Oh, it's all very complicated. You take us through
The tweet.
The famous
I'm
tweet.
so tired of talking about it, yet I'm still talking about it. This is when she tweeted in favour of the opponent of Ségolène Royal, who is François Hollande's ex and a politician in her own right, in parliamentary elections. It created an absolute storm. It was known as Tweetgate. She became known as Tweetweiler. She is, of course, Valerie Trierweiler. And it was all very unfortunate, right? Now, a few months down the line, she's given an interview to West France, which is a very widely read newspaper, big circulation in the west of France, where she finally said, "I regret that tweet." Now, there was a lot of hearsay in the past.
Better late than never, Valerie.
This is it. Now, some people are saying, hold on a minute, you're regretting the tweet on the very same day that this terrible poll comes out saying, what are the results? Let me give you the results.
1 in 3 French has a good opinion.
That's right. 29% have a positive opinion of her. 40% have a bad opinion of her. Right. 44% think that she's too important a role in political life. 42% say that the private life of the French president impacts negatively on the image they have of him, i.e., she has.
Well, we keep seeing him on Les Guignols, don't we? A puppet of him in between Trierweiler and his ex Ségolène Royal, and it makes him look weak and indecisive.
That's it. And
it's just adding to that persona that he tends to have already.
And he had said, I'm going to come along after Nicolas Sarkozy and normalise everything. His private life was very much put in the public line.
Fighting over you like that.
It, right? So just a little bit of analysis on that. She said in that interview as well that I'm going to continue my job as a columnist for Paris Match because you have to pay the bills and I have to support my kids. But I'm not going to take a TV show that she was offered. Now, interestingly, another former First Lady, Bernadette Chirac, who is going to appear herself in a television interview tonight, said that she did not think that this TV show business for Valerie Trierweiler would be convenable or suitable. So I wonder, is she responding to that? You could say that this interview in West France was perfectly timed just after Bernadette Chirac herself said, look, this TV show business, it's not appropriate, just as this poll came out in for VSD magazine. So there you go, back in the news, not for good reasons, but she's trying to
She's trying to reclaim her image, isn't she?
That's it.
Well, it's difficult for her being on the other side of the press, perhaps, for once in her life.
That's it.
Now, let's talk more about Hollande's policies, namely raising taxes, deeply unpopular with French business. You've got the France's richest businessman looking for a way to get out of the country.
Absolutely.
But the smaller businesses, the entrepreneurs, they say they simply can't cope with these higher charges.
Now, last Friday, in a bid to underline that problem, this Facebook page was set up. It's called Pigeon Entrepreneurs. Now, to explain that to foreigners, you see up here Jean Pigeon. That's the famous French verlan, where they invert a word. So it's Pigeon, which means fall guy in French slang. So entrepreneurs are saying, we are the fall guys for this budget. Taxes are being raised for us, and it's not good. If we want to sell on our startup, we're going to be taxed at 60% of the profit. Therefore, the incentive to create a small business and sell it on is being reduced.
And create jobs, of course.
That's right. So they're very angry about it. And 20 startup creators came together and started this Facebook page. It has had 34,000 likes. So that's pretty popular, pretty big in France. It's also being
Do we know what kind of
promoted on
companies
Twitter.
are involved at all?
Now, their identity, they're keeping it private because they don't want to distract from the actual campaign with details. But get this is typically French, right? You had the pigeon entrepreneurs, and now you have the entrepreneurs against the pigeons.
Oh, there are entrepreneurs who want to pay more tax.
That's right. So they wrote a piece in Libération today saying, no, the pigeon entrepreneurs, they haven't looked at the loopholes, there are ways of getting out of these taxes. And so you have it signed at the bottom here by people saying, oh, look, you're overreacting, etc., etc., etc.
They say you can get out of the taxes.
They say that there are loopholes if you reinvest the profits of the sale into French small businesses. So there you go. It's a bit of a storm.
Get on the same page, guys.
But I just wanted to show you this, right? There is actually a site for pigeons france.com, but it's nothing to do with Fall Guys. It's actually for pigeon lovers who are known as...
Who loves pigeons? Seriously?
I don't know. It's kind of gross. And it's colombiculture is the growth or
flying rats, aren't they? Can't bear them.
So after agriculture, you've got colombiculture.
Goodness me, that is very
Who
strange.
would have known?
Now let's end with this rather odd character, David Blaine.
Yes.
He's a magician and an illusionist.
Yes.
He's given 1 or 2 awkward television interviews, if I remember rightly.
Right.
And now, what's some of the things he's done in the past?
All right, what has he done? Let me
Give
tell
us a
you.
quick resume.
63 hours inside a block of ice.
Yes, that's the one.
1 week inside a coffin. 6 weeks without food in a glass box above the Thames. So
Easy. Oh, and everyone was throwing eggs at him.
That's right, and having barbecues down below while he couldn't eat, so it was very mean. Let's roll the pictures to look at what his next plan is.
Up to now.
On Friday, he's going to stand on top of a 20-foot pole and be electrocuted by 1 million volts of electricity for 72 hours. Now, bearing in mind, he will have a sort of a chainmail suit on and a helmet, so the electricity will be sort of...
Looks pretty cool.
It does look very cool, and it's to, I suppose, it's to shine the spotlight on electromagnetism, etc., etc. He won't be eating for that 72-hour period, obviously, because why
that
would he
be
eat?
awkward, wouldn't
That would
it?
be too easy, wouldn't it? And he won't be sleeping either. So the risk would be more that he would fall off the 20-foot pole than that he would be electrocuted.
Is it dangerous? It looks pretty dangerous.
Well, apparently it's like being in the middle of a lightning storm.
Ah.
And never before in the history of humankind have you had somebody in a lightning storm for 72 hours. So this is unprecedented.
I was in the middle of one briefly in Scotland up a mountain.
Was it 72 hours though?
No, it wasn't. No. It was more like 20 minutes before I began crying. Anyway.
So you could join him up on top of the pole.
Good. All right, James Creeder with Media
Thanks,
Watch.
Laura.
Thank you very much indeed. Great stuff. All right, we'll give you more snippets and tidbits from the internet now. It's time for our daily dose of web news.